You're standing at the airport gate 9 months outside the United States, and your green card is in your hand. The officer scans it, looks directly at you, and says, "Step aside, please." Your heart drops because he takes you to a small room with no windows, just a metal table and one question burning in the air. Why were you gone so long, and are you still living in America? You open your mouth to explain your sick mother, your business obligations, your family emergency. But the officer cuts you off sharply, saying, "I don't think you intend to live here anymore, and your green card is being revoked, so sign here." One signature, and 20 years of building your life in America completely gone in an instant. Most people think a green card is permanent, but it's absolutely not. If you leave the United States for more than 6 months without the right paperwork, they can take it away from you. And by the time you realize your mistake, you're already being deported back to your home country. But there's one document that protects you, and it's called a reentry permit. It costs $715 as of 2026, and if you don't have it, you're gambling with your entire future and everything you've built in America. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to apply for a re-entry permit in 2026 step by step, word by word, so you never end up in that room being interrogated and losing everything you worked for. Let's go. Hi, I'm Ricardo, and welcome to US Immigration Info, where we break down complex immigration rules into simple, actionable steps that protect your American dream. For years, I've been tracking immigration policy changes and helping families avoid the traps that destroy green card status. And what I'm about to share with you today could be the difference between keeping your green card and losing it forever. Here's where people fail, and it's the trap that 90% of immigrants make without even knowing it. They leave the United States for a family emergency, maybe 8 months or maybe 10 months. And they think to themselves, "I have a green card, so I'm fine, and nothing can happen to me." But when they come back to the airport, the Customs and Border Protection officer asks very specific questions like, "Where do you work? Where do you live? Where are your tax returns? Do your children go to school in America? And if you cannot prove you still live in America, if your job is abroad, if you haven't filed United States taxes, if your kids go to school in another country, the officer has the complete legal right to assume you abandoned your green card, and that assumption is called loss of permanent resident status. Once they make that call, you're done. There's no appeal at the airport. There's no second chance. There's no lawyer you can call right then and there. And here's the trick they use that catches people completely off guard. The officer will say to you, "Sign this I-407 form," which says you're voluntarily giving up your green card. Sign it and you can leave without problems and go home. Most people who are scared and exhausted after a long flight sign it without thinking. And that's the trap, because once you sign that I-407 form, you've legally abandoned your green card. You can't take it back, you can't fight it in court, you can't appeal the decision. You're now a visa applicant again, starting from zero, as if you never had a green card in the first place. So how do you avoid this nightmare scenario? It's actually simple. You get a re-entry permit before you leave the United States, and this document becomes your legal shield. A re-entry permit is a United States government travel document that tells the immigration officer this person has permission to stay outside the US for up to 2 years without abandoning their green card. It's proof of your intent to return to America and continue living here permanently. Here's the legal protection it gives you and why it's so powerful. Number one, it creates a presumption of residence, which is a legal term. It means the officer cannot assume you abandoned your green card just because you were gone for a long time. The burden of proof shifts in your favor. They have to prove you abandoned it, and you don't have to prove you didn't, which is a massive advantage. Number two, it's valid for 2 full years. You can leave the United States for up to 24 months and come back without triggering the abandonment question that destroys so many green card holders. Number three, it's recognized worldwide. If your green card expires while you're abroad, you can use the re-entry permit to board a plane back to the United States. Airlines accept it, and immigration accepts it without question. But here's the key that everyone needs to understand. A re-entry permit does not guarantee entry into the United States. It only protects you from the presumption of abandonment. If you commit a crime abroad, or if you lie to the officer, or if you violate immigration law, they can still deny you entry even with a re-entry permit in hand. Think of it like this. The re-entry permit is your shield, not your sword. It defends you, but you still have to follow all the rules and maintain your ties to America. Now let's talk about how to get it, because the process has specific requirements that if you miss even one step, your application will be denied. Step 1 is lock in the price and understand the fee schedule for 2026. As of January 1st, 2026, the fees changed, and here's what you'll pay. Form I-131 filing fee is $630, which increased from $575. Biometrics fee is $85. If you're between ages 14 to 79, total cost is $715. Write that number down, because once you submit your application, USCIS will not refund you even if they deny your application for any reason. Pro tip, always pay by credit card or check made out to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Do not send cash because it won't be accepted and your application will be rejected immediately. Step 2 is understanding the physical presence rule, which is the most important rule that trips up thousands of people every single year. Here's the rule. You must be physically present in the United States when you file Form I-131. Let me say that again because this is critical. You cannot file from outside the United States, period. If you mail your application from Canada, Mexico, India, Pakistan, the Philippines, anywhere outside United States borders, USCIS will automatically deny it with no exceptions whatsoever. And here's the second part that catches people. You should stay in the United States until you complete your biometrics appointment. Your biometrics appointment is when USCIS takes your fingerprints and facial scan, and it usually happens 4 to 6 weeks after you file your application. The trap that destroys applications is some people file the application, then immediately leave the United States thinking they're done. USCIS sends them a biometrics notice to their US address, but they're abroad so they miss it. And when you miss a biometrics appointment, USCIS abandons your application and you lose your $715. The safe strategy that I always recommend is file the application, wait for your biometrics notice to arrive in the mail, go to the appointment and complete it. Then leave the United States knowing your application is secure. If you absolutely have to leave before biometrics, you can request USCIS mail your permit to a United States embassy abroad, but this is risky and much slower, and I don't recommend it unless absolutely necessary. Step 3 is fill out form I-131 2026 edition correctly, because one mistake can cause delays or denial. Download the form from USCIS.gov, and it's called Application for Travel Document Form I-131. Here's exactly how to fill it out section by section. Part 1 is information about you. Select I am a lawful permanent resident. Fill in your full name exactly as it appears on your green card, your alien number, which is your A number from your green card, your date of birth, and your country of birth. Part 2 is application type. Check the box that says re-entry permit. Do not check refugee travel document or advance parole, because those are completely different documents for different situations. Part 3 is processing information, and this is where you explain why you need the permit. Be specific and detailed. Example 1, for family emergency right. I need to care for my elderly mother in Pakistan who is undergoing medical treatment, and I expect to be outside the US for approximately 18 months. Example 2, for business right. I am establishing a business branch in India and will need to travel back and forth for approximately 12 to 15 months. Example 3, for education. Right, I am accompanying my spouse who has a work assignment in the UAE for 10 months. Be specific and don't just write travel, because they want to see your intent to return to America. Part 4 is where to send the permit, and you have 2 options. Option 1, send it to your United States address, which is the safest option, because someone can mail it to you wherever you are. Option 2, send it to a United States embassy or consulate abroad, and you need to check the list of participating embassies on USCIS.gov. If you're already abroad or leaving soon, choose option 2. But understand this delays processing significantly. Step 4 is gather your supporting documents and include these with your application. Copy of your green card front and back, 2 passport-style photos taken within the last 30 days with your A number written on the back. In pencil, not pen, proof of United States ties, which is optional but highly recommended, such as U.S. tax returns, lease or mortgage agreement, bank statements, letter from your U.S. employer, utility bills. These documents show immigration you intend to return and maintain your permanent residence. Step 5 is mail your application correctly. Send your complete package to USCIS and check the USCIS website for the current lockbox address. Because it changes based on where you live in the United States, use certified mail with tracking, because this is your proof you filed on time, and if anything goes wrong, you have evidence. Step 6 is the biometrics appointment and the 2026 facial scan, which is new technology. In 2026, USCIS introduced facial recognition technology at biometrics appointments. So here's what happens. You'll receive a notice in the mail with your appointment date and location. Go to the USCIS Application Support Center called ASC. They'll take your fingerprints and a facial scan, which is new in 2026. The appointment takes 15 to 20 minutes. Do not miss this appointment because if you do, USCIS will close your case immediately. If you have an emergency and can't make it, you can request a reschedule, but do it before the appointment date by calling USCIS or submitting a request online through your account. Step 7 is receiving your reentry permit and understanding processing times. Processing time is 6 to 12 months as of 2026. So plan accordingly. You'll receive a small booklet that looks like a passport. It's valid for 2 years from the date of issuance. It contains your photo, your A number, and your fingerprint embedded in the document. Important note, the 2-year validity starts when USCIS issues the permit, not when you leave the United States. So if you apply in January, receive it in July, and leave in September, your permit expires in July 2 years later, not September 2 years later. So plan your travel carefully. Now here's the warning about what a reentry permit does not do, and this is critical to understand. Let's be very clear. A reentry permit is not a guarantee of entry into the United States. It only protects you from the presumption of abandonment. But if you commit a crime abroad, fail to file United States taxes, lie to an immigration officer, or stay outside the United States for more than 2 years, they can still deny you entry at the airport or border. Also, a reentry permit does not extend your green card's expiration date. If your green card expires while you're abroad, you'll need to use the reentry permit to board the plane back to America. But once you're back in the United States, you'll need to renew your green card using Form I-90. Think of the reentry permit as insurance, not a free pass to do whatever you want. Let me tell you something that I want you to remember. Knowing your rights doesn't make you a troublemaker. It makes you smart and prepared. The United States immigration system is not designed to help you. It's designed to test you and see if you know the rules. And if you don't know the rules, you'll lose, not because you're a bad person, but because you didn't prepare properly. That re-entry permit costs $715, which is less than a plane ticket, but it could save you 20 years of hard work building your life in America. So here's what I want you to do right now. Share this video with your family, share it with your friends, share it with anyone who has a green card and might need to travel internationally, because one day they might be standing in that airport room being questioned, and this information could save their life and their green card. Subscribe to U.S. Immigration Info because we're here to protect you one video at a time with accurate, up-to-date information you can actually use. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. You're prepared and you know your rights. Stay safe out there and protect your American dream because you've worked too hard to lose it over a simple mistake that could have been avoided.